In the turbulent frontier environment of the early 14th century, a decisive military episode marked the emergence of a new leader within the expanding Ottoman Empire. Following a destructive raid by Tatar forces, Osman's son, Orhan, organized and led a swift counteroffensive that resulted in a surprise victory. The successful operation not only neutralized the raiders, but also demonstrated Orhan's growing authority and military capability. At the time of the incident, Ottoman territories were still recovering from the shock of the earlier incursion. Markets had been disrupted, civilians displaced, and local defenses placed under strain. Reports from regional commanders emphasized the urgency of restoring security and preventing further attacks. With his father, Osman II, engaged in broader campaigns, Orhan assumed responsibility for coordinating the response. According to contemporary accounts, Orhan began by gathering intelligence on the raiders' movements. Scouts tracked their routes and identified temporary encampments where stolen goods and prisoners were being held. Rather than launching an immediate frontal assault, Orhan planned a calculated surprise attack designed to exploit the raiders' overconfidence after their initial success. Preparations were conducted discreetly. Selected units were assembled from nearby garrisons, emphasizing mobility and discipline. Cavalry forces were positioned to encircle the target area, while infantry prepared to advance rapidly once the attack began. Communication between units was carefully coordinated to ensure timing and precision. Before dawn, Ottoman forces moved into position. Using the cover of darkness, they approached the raiders' camp from multiple directions. At the chosen moment, Orhan ordered a simultaneous strike. The sudden assault caught the raiders unprepared. Confusion spread quickly as Ottoman troops pressed their advantage, preventing an organized defense. The engagement was intense but brief. Surprised attackers attempted to regroup, but coordinated pressure from surrounding Ottoman units limited their options. Many raiders were captured, while others fled the field. Stolen goods were recovered, and detained civilians were freed. The rapid resolution of the battle minimized further casualties and damage. Military observers highlight the effectiveness of Orhan's tactical decisions. By prioritizing intelligence gathering and surprise, he neutralized a mobile threat that had previously exploited speed and unpredictability. The encirclement maneuver prevented escape and demonstrated advanced coordination for a developing frontier army. The aftermath of the victory carried significant symbolic weight. Prisoners were secured, and recovered property was returned to affected communities. News of the success spread rapidly through Ottoman territories, boosting morale and reinforcing confidence in emerging leadership. Civilians viewed the operation as a clear sign that authorities could protect them against external threats. Administratively, the response was swift. Regional officials organized assistance for communities impacted by the raid and subsequent battle. Markets reopened under increased security, and patrols intensified along vulnerable routes. These measures aimed to restore normal economic activity and reassure merchants. The episode also influenced perceptions within the broader political landscape. Neighboring regions observed the efficiency of the Ottoman counterstrike. Demonstrated capability in rapid response and coordinated action enhanced the reputation of Ottoman command structures. Such displays of strength contributed to deterrence by signaling preparedness against future incursions. For Orhan personally, the victory marked a turning point. Commanders and soldiers who served under him recognized his decisiveness and strategic awareness. His leadership during planning and execution established credibility that extended beyond a single engagement. Analysts later identified this event as an early indicator of his potential as a future ruler. Training and organization benefited from lessons learned during the operation. Commanders reviewed tactics that had proven effective and integrated them into broader defensive planning. Emphasis on intelligence networks and rapid mobilization became more pronounced in subsequent strategies. The human dimension of the conflict remained central. Freed civilians reunited with families, and local communities participated in rebuilding efforts. Public ceremonies acknowledging the recovery of property and prisoners reinforced solidarity. These actions strengthened the social fabric that supported administrative stability. From a logistical perspective, the successful counterattack validated investments in mobility and communication. Efficient movement of troops across secured routes allowed rapid concentration of force. Signal systems and messenger networks proved capable of transmitting urgent information under pressure. Historians interpret the event as a demonstration of adaptive governance in a volatile frontier setting. Emerging states faced constant tests of resilience. The ability to respond effectively to sudden threats determined not only military outcomes, but also public confidence. In this instance, coordinated leadership transformed vulnerability into opportunity. The victory's psychological impact extended beyond immediate recovery. Confidence in defensive capabilities encouraged renewed commercial activity. Merchants resumed travel with greater assurance, and agricultural production stabilized as security improved. Economic normalization supported sustained growth. Strategically, the operation underscored the importance of proactive defense. Rather than waiting for repeated attacks, Ottoman leadership emphasized prevention through vigilance and readiness. Strengthened patrol patterns and intelligence gathering reduced the likelihood of surprise incursions. Observers note that the collaboration between experienced commanders and emerging leaders created a dynamic command environment. Orhan's success reflected not only personal skill, but also effective integration within an established military framework. This synergy enhanced overall operational capacity. The broader narrative of frontier consolidation gained momentum following the engagement. Secure territories enabled continued expansion and administrative development. Each successful defense reinforced the perception of stability essential for long-term governance. In analytical terms, the episode illustrates how tactical innovation and decisive action can shift strategic trajectories. A localized raid, initially disruptive, became the catalyst for improved defensive structures and leadership recognition. The experience informed future planning and strengthened institutional resilience. As recovery progressed, the emphasis on preparedness became embedded in regional policy. Training drills simulated rapid deployment scenarios, and supply reserves were organized to support emergency mobilization. These preparations reflected a commitment to sustained security. In conclusion, Orhan's first major military success represented more than a battlefield victory. Through careful intelligence gathering, surprise tactics, and coordinated execution, he defeated the raiders, captured prisoners, and restored stolen goods. The operation demonstrated effective leadership and reinforced the capacity of the Ottoman administration to protect its people. By transforming crisis into consolidation, this event contributed to the evolving strength and cohesion of an expanding state, setting a precedent for future campaigns and governance.